Is this on? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our high school awards ceremony. Glad you all could make it, and glad it is dry out there this morning. Praise the Lord. We are going to get started in just a minute after a word of prayer. So if you would join me, let's ask for God's blessing on our ceremony this morning. Father, we are thankful for your blessings throughout this school year. In academics and in sports, we're thankful for each of our students that are here represented this morning and their families. I pray that you continue to bless them as they finish this year, and I pray that you bless this time as we recognize their accomplishments and all that you have done throughout this school year. We pray for your blessing in Jesus' name. Amen.
Good morning. As usual, we're going to start off with sports. And we want to just kind of let you know last year cross country kind of did their sport, but this year they went at full-fledged. And so we have two new sports this year to do, and that is soccer and cross country. But first we're going to start off with softball. As you can see in our shirts, we wore 212 a lot, and that was our theme for this year, which is based on the boiling point of water. So it's 212, the extra degree. At 211, water's just hot, but at 212, it's boiling. So we challenged the girls this year to give 1% or 1 degree more in every area of their life, both on and off the field.
and small changes yield big results. And even though it didn't end up how we wanted it or what we had last year, we're still proud of them, and this team showed that they can be a contender consistently by bringing home the second place trophy again this year. And so we had a strong senior class that's going to leave really big holes to fill, but we're confident in our younger girls that they're going to keep us going in the years to come. So it was an honor to coach these girls, and I'm proud of how they represented our school and the Lord ultimately this year. So we'll start with our awards now. Taylor Alvarez, Addie Johnson, Addie Hayek, Evie Frederick, Victoria McIlharney, Kaylee Bird, Andy Johnson, Vivi Woodring, Stella Moore, Bella Howell, Macy Parker, and Mia Parker, Shay Bill, Mally Kilpatrick, Kristen Bird, and Callie Ellis. You guys can give them a round of applause. And we do want to recognize our all-conference selections. And if they'll just step forward as I call their names: Addie Johnson, Evie Frederick, Taylor Alvarez, Stella Moore, and Kaylee Bird. And then we also had an all-tournament selection at NACA when we went, and that was Evie Frederick. So if you'll give them a round of applause as well. All right, so our MVP this year is someone who worked really, really hard to achieve the success that she had, not just this year, but many years in the past as well. She's self-motivated, and she strives to give it all. She fights through pain because she knows that her team is counting on her. Racking up 102 strikeouts this year, we feel confident putting the ball in her hands in the toughest of moments. I'm so glad we'll have her around for 2 more years. Congratulations to our 2024 MVP, Miss Kaylee Bird. And for Best Christian Character, it's very encouraging as a coach to know that the vote for this was very close. Because if there's anything we tried to instill in our girls this year, and our prayer is that sports are more than just sports. And that softball is more than just the game. Like, I hope they have learned a lot from this year, and I know that these girls have shown that, most of them and all of them, both on and off the field. And so it was really encouraging to see that lots of names were submitted for this, and it came down to a really close vote. The recipient of this award is a girl that has always had a smile on her face and truly plays for her teammates. We can constantly hear her on the field or in the dugout lifting someone up. It's a great testament that this athlete has received this award 2 years in a row, and our Best Christian Character for softball goes to Evie Frederick. And she's not here today.
Good pitch. There you go, right there. So it was a fun year. You coming to help? Good. It was a good year this year. We'll start with JV, then move on to varsity. JV learned a lot this year through struggles. But at the end of the year, they were definitely playing much better than they did at the beginning of the year, gelling more as a team. Some of the guys had played in the middle school program with us, some had not, so a lot of getting used to each other and figuring out who was going to grab a ball, who was not, who was aggressive, who was passive. But it turned out to be a pretty good season for them. I think they learned a lot. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of those guys move up to the varsity program next year. But I'm going to introduce Ethan Angelo. Nope, I'm not. Will Beard. Cruz Duncan. Noah Eason. Cadence Ellis. Jackson Fisher. Nate Fleming. Chandler Goins. Adrian Joyner. Landon Labardo. Lewis Moore. Chase Nelson. Benji Patterson. Judah Peterson. Alex Taylor. And that is your 2024 junior varsity baseball team. So the MVP for junior varsity, he pitched, he caught, he played whatever position we needed him to on defense. Was one of the best hitting, batting averages, slugging percentage. The ERA we can work on next year. But the junior varsity MVP is Judah Peterson. Best Christian character. A lot of times it's close. It was not. It was an overwhelming. There were one or two other votes, but anything we asked him to do, he did it. He did it with a smile, and he did it to the best of his ability. Noah Eason, Best Christian character. All right, varsity. It's a good thing we have two hands because they are a handful. I want to start by thanking Coach Fisher, who was just up here giving me a hand at the last second, and Coach Beard, who just joined us, and Coach Gonzalez. Is he here? All right. He's probably working. I kind of organize things, yell at the guys, / motivate, however you want to put that. But these guys would really make it happen. Jeff and Charles, Robert, they're at all the practices, at all the games. They keep everybody rounded up, and we could not do it without them. We had a good season this year. We have a good group of guys. We say that every year. That's Bacon makes us. We weren't exactly happy with how we finished the year. This was probably one of the more talented teams that we had. Might have underachieved a little bit. I'll just say that because I say it to them. But they recognized that and rallied at the end of the year to go on to nationals and plays pretty well there. We did win the first ever nationals tournament for baseball. Parker Bird won all tournament. Owen Beard won all tournament. We had all conference selections with Owen Beard, Parker Bird, JJ, and Hudson Tucker, who's not with us today, homeschool. But we'll go ahead and introduce Owen Beard. Parker Bird, Lincoln Nunn, Aiden Fleming, Baron Gray, Christian Gonzalez, Daniel Gonzalez, Trey Hughes, Jaden Joyner, Alan McElharney, Evan Richardson, Ethan Salter, Eric Taylor, and Hudson Tucker. That is your 2024 varsity. For best Christian character, this was close. We had 3 guys on the team that that shared the votes, but in the end, by 2 votes, this player was injured at the beginning of the season and tore a muscle and spent most of the season recovering from that, but still showed up to every practice, every game, did everything he could do. If it was with the other arm, he still tried to do it. But the best Christian character is Baron Gray. And he is single. The MVP came through our middle school program. He started playing with us in 7th grade. He was a leader on and off the field. At the plate, he led the team in hits, batting average, slugging percentage. In pitching, he had the 2nd most innings pitched, had the lowest ERA, and also led the team in hit batters. Our baseball MVP is Hudson Tucker.
everybody. This year, our team verse was 1 Corinthians 9:26. I therefore run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. And one thing that we tried to encourage the girls to do is to do everything with purpose, and to fight for every single moment that you were on the court. And I really do think that we achieved that this last year. We had plenty of ups and downs, but in the end, you all played hard. Varsity finished third in our conference, and JV finished second. So very well done. Great season for you girls. But let's go ahead and get started with our JV.
Lillian Charles, Olivia Charles, Miriam Coley, Andy Johnson, Joy Kunkelman, Jolie Kunkelman, Victoria McIlarney, Reagan McGoffey, Stella Moore, Lindsay Morgan, Olivia Pierce, Carly Richmond, Sophia Tucker, Vivi Woodring, Esther Yefimov. For the MVP this year, this player was always ready to work hard and do her best, whether it was a practice or a game. She was always looking for ways to improve herself, and by the end of the season, she was a leader in serving aces. She is someone I could count on to do her best and leave it all on the court. The most valuable player goes to Andy Johnson. For the Best Christian Character Award, this person always has a smile on their face. They are positive and encouraging, not only to their teammates, but also to their coaches. She's always cheering her team on and has a great attitude. She always has something encouraging to say. It is so evident that this lady is full of Christ's love, and you can see it on and off the court. Best Christian Character goes to Reagan McGoffey.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our varsity players. Thank you. Okay, Taylor Alvarez, Kara Boyd, Kaylee Bird, MK Drummond, Evie Frederick, Lainey Garrett, Addie Hayek, Addie Johnson, Morgan Kemp, Aiden Lucier, Jenna Murphy, and Isabella Vega. Well, before we move on to the other awards, let's go ahead and recognize our all-conference selections from this season as well. So we had 4, and those ladies were Evie Frederick. Go ahead and step forward whenever I call your name. I know Evie's not here. Evie, and then Addie. Oh, you are here. Hi, Evie. Evie Frederick, Addie Hayek, Addie Johnson, and Morgan Kemp. Let's give them a round of applause. All right. Well, this year for our MVP, we have a senior. She was an all-around amazing player, as per usual. Even though her specialty is in the back row, she led our team in digs, and she was our most successful with serve receptions. She led us this year. Very, very strong player, and we're incredibly proud of you, Addie Johnson. All right, and then for our best Christian character, we have another senior, and this young lady was certainly a force to be reckoned with on the front row. She was our team's leader in kills and blocks, but that's no surprise to any of us. But what stood out the most to her teammates when they voted for her was her love for the team, for her coaches, and for Christ, most importantly. Morgan Kemp, thank you so much for being a strong spiritual player and a strong player on the court. Come on up. And then can we also give a special shout out to Bella Howell for being an amazing stats keeper and training our other stats ladies.
Senior and the homecoming king.
I think that video makes us look a lot better than we actually were. In all seriousness, JV boys, young group, battled through a lot this year with injuries. Proud of them, like the direction that we're going, looking forward to next year. So, Declan Burton, Sabin Brown, Noah Eason, Chandler Goins, Colin Harrison, Gabe Hazewinkle, Josh Heinrich, Bryce Jagel, Nate Johnson, Jaden Joyner, Landon Liu, Merrick Scott, Lucas Wilt, and Dominic Yanes. Let's give these guys a round of applause. All right, this year our MVP, young man who I think was injured probably every game. In practice, always getting beat up. Honestly, just a dog. If we didn't have him this year, honestly, our record probably would have been way worse. I'm very proud that he was on the team this year. Battled through a lot. Jaden Joyner. For our best Christian character, this young man, I don't think there's anybody that has a bad word to say about him, and I think that speaks to both off the court and on the court. Just a young man that's very respectful. Never a moment of any issue at all. Very proud that he's on this team. A leader, Gabe Hazewinkle.
You guys are good. All right, well, now to varsity. A lot of you might be wondering what the dog chain and all that was on there for all this year. I challenged the guys to be a dog this year, and it stood for determined athlete with grit. I stole it from Jim Harbaugh, if you know who he is. But it wasn't just something that we could bark at. I wanted to challenge them as you guys get into life further down the road. Not only be a determined athlete with grit, but you can be a determined adult with God, and you can add that second part of the dog to it. That's why the goofy chain is up there, and they all look stupid doing it. But we had a really good year this year. We had a lot of adventures, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of success, some failure, but we learned through it all. That's the main thing. There was definitely never a dull moment with this group, that's for sure. A lot of challenges, a lot of fun. We finished with a record of 20-13. We fell short in our conference championship, region championship, got second place a lot this year, but they did everything I asked of them, which that's all I can ask for as a coach, is they put it out there, they worked hard, they did everything they could to get there. Sometimes you just fall short. All conference this year, well, let me call them up here first, that would probably help. Shepherd Brown. Stuart Brown. Jackson Birch. Parker Bird. Lincoln Dunn. Joseph Fournier. Colin Harrison. Gabe Hazewinkle. Trey Hughes. Ian Jefferson. Wearing a hat. Sam Pierce. Jaden Riley. Levi Sharp. Caleb Wiggins. We had 4 all-conference this year. Caleb Wiggins, you can step forward. Shepherd Brown, Stuart Brown, and Parker Bird for all-conference this year. All right, for MVP this year, our MVP did a lot for us all year. He really led us, set the tone for us. Whether that was always good, that's to be determined. But he set the tone for us a lot in a good way. He set the single season record for threes in a game. He set the record for threes in a career here at West Florida. MVP this year was Stuart Brown. All right, and best Christian character, like the JV, like Coach Perrine said, can't find someone who has something bad to say about him. He was always about his business. That's what I always think about him. He's always tending to what he needs to tend to. I don't have to check in on him. I don't have to make him. He's always doing what he needs to, and he's always encouraging, always positive, and sometimes he gets a little righteous indignation about him, gets a little fired up. So best Christian character, Shepherd Brown.
What we've all come here for, JV basketball, girls basketball. Ready? All right. All right, we had a great season this year with the JV girls, and I want to thank Coach Aaron for helping with that and with the middle school team this year. Just with that whole group, developing them, that has really helped that group of girls this year. These girls played both JV, a lot of them played some varsity as well. JV girls, Lily and Charles. We're going to mix it up, and you can use both sides, okay? Olivia Charles. Claire Gelsma. Joy Kunkelman. Julie Kunkelman. They here? Skylar MacArthur. See who wins, who has most. Macy Parker. Alyssa Roberts. Abigail Sherrouse. Vivi Woodring. Give it up for your JV girls basketball team. I have some notes in here somewhere. All right. For our MVP this year, for JV, this girl played some varsity as well as led our JV girls in scoring. And she led this team as well as a lot of the younger girls in just leading them in how to play and how to conduct herself on the court. She, a lot of times, will pass up shots to keep her teammates involved on the court. And there was games that she basically just dominated the other team as well. She was the leading scorer and plays tenacious defense. That is Claire Gelsma. And our best Christian character, this girl embodies what we're trying to do at West Florida. She plays hard on the court, but always has a great attitude, big smile on her face, and fights through all kinds of different things during the games, and always is encouraging her teammates. And that is Alyssa Roberts. You may be seated. For our varsity team, it's hard to embody a whole season in a video. We do have a lot of fun with our team, but in all these videos, it's hard to really capture the essence of the season, but we try to do that. We had a great season for varsity, and I'll say a little more about that. Let me call them up. Kara Boyd. Kaylee Bird, McKenna Enfinger, Evie Frederick, Claire Gelsma, Addie Johnson, and Vivi Woodring. And our motto this year, well, go ahead and give it up for this. Our motto this year after the first couple games was stop passing it to the other team. And that went well with this group, and we really learned from that throughout this season. And actually, we had several mottos throughout the year. They just kept changing. But it worked because we won our conference championship. We won first at regionals, went 10-0 in our division, won 20 games. And we were second in the Concord Classic, second at the Middle Tennessee Classic. And We had some individual awards. All conference in our conference was Olivia Pierce, step out, McKenna Enfinger, Addie Johnson, and Kaylee Bird. And then we had MVP at regionals was Addie. And then a Conquer Classic, Olivia and McKinnick were the all tournament selections. And in Middle Tennessee, Addie and McKenna received those honors. Great season. And thank you all for that. The best Christian character this year, honestly, it was amazing to see the votes as they came in for best Christian character, because over half the team got a vote from their peers, and that's just pretty amazing, this group of girls, just what their attitude and the way they carry themselves. But the one that's award this year, she's been the center of our team for years now. She's a senior on the Lady Conquerors basketball team. She's polite. She's a great teammate. She plays hard, but she never gets down on her teammates, and she always carries a smile, unless we're losing at Middle Tennessee in that one picture. Gracie Kimbrough, thanks. And some other acknowledgments I wanted to make real quick that I forgot about. We had some record broken this year. McKenna tied the record for the most three-pointers in a game with 5. And then she also set a new record for the most three-pointers in a season with 66. And she set a new record for the most three-pointers in a career with 213, which I think she had the record when she came here this year. And then she scored 380 points this season. Olivia scored 381 points this season. She also broke some school records. She broke the record for the most rebounds in a season, and she shattered the record by 120 rebounds. So she has 342 rebounds this year. And then she set a new school record for the most blocks in a season by 1 with 43. So I wanted to recognize both those amazing achievements as well. For our MVP this year, also another close vote. In her second varsity season, no player has made such a step up over 1 year. Olivia was a problem for a lot of teams this year. In 28 games, Olivia had 20 double-doubles. That's double points, double rebounds in a game for those of you non-basketball. That put her 114th in the nation on Max Preps in that category. And in the conference Final Four, game 1, she had 31 points and 17 rebounds. And in our championship game, she scored 26 points and 20 rebounds. Congratulations to our 2024 MVP, Olivia Pierce. All right, thank you, girls.
there's one thing I can say about my cheerleaders this season, it's that they are not only graceful on the court most of the time, but they are very, very graceful off the court all the time. They show incredible grace to me in my first season of coaching. I had a lot of mistakes. We all had a few mistakes, but they always took me and my problems in stride. They always came to me very respectfully, always. They were always so kind. And I am incredibly, incredibly grateful for this past squad. Also, a few quick shout outs. Have to thank the basketball team. Without them, we would not have literally anything to do at all. I also want to thank Greg Pryor. I don't know if he's in here, but he literally, we would not have gotten anywhere without him, and we would not have had near as much fun. So I also really want to thank Greg Pryor. And I'm going to start with JV. Natalie Eason, Alyssa Farrar, Hope Conskoll, Isabella McBride, I think my last one's Michaela Reagan, and Ava Thibodeau. All right. Our MVP this year, she was, I don't know how else to put it except she was just like a firecracker. She always, every time she was out on the court, I was always just ready to see what she was going to do next. She led the team so well. She was always tight. I never had to tell her to tighten up or flip a certain way. And I had to tell her to smile a few times, but that's okay. Everyone gets a little nervous. Our MVP this year is Ava Thibodeau. And our best Christian character this year, I don't know how else to describe her except she's just like kindness. I always am so happy to see her. She is kind on and off the court. Her demeanor, the way she carries herself, I never had to, hey, let's be kind today. I never had to do that with her. And I'm so, so grateful to have her on the squad. Isabella McBride. You guys can go sit down. Okay. Kate Boyd. Oh, this is varsity. MK Drummond. Amelia Fournier. Madeline Goodick. Aiden Leicher. And Annabelle Kendrick. All right, our cheerleading varsity MVP this year. I know her well because I cheered with her. She is a fantastic teammate. She always, always leads the team. She led the team well this year as our captain. She's just an all-around kind person. She's always on her best game. And it's a joy to have her on the squad. MK Drummond. Slay. I've got one more. Thank you. All right. Our best Christian character. I called her Sunshine all the time. She always was smiling. She always had a joke. If there was ever, I'm trying to recover. If there was ever something that went wrong, which I'm not gonna lie, we had a few things go wrong. If something ever went wrong, she was always right there with a joke, laughing. She always just brightened up the room she walked in. And she really does embody and carry the love of Christ in her. And it's also a joy to have her on the squad, Kate Boyd.
All right, first of all, I'd like to thank Coach David Stiefel. He was a great help to us this year, As a first-year team, we were a very young team. It's a varsity team, but we went all the way down to the 7th grade. We didn't have any seniors, which is regrettable, but at the same time, it's good because we're not necessarily losing anyone. And we're looking forward to actually being part of the Panhandle Christian Conference this coming year. We played independently this past season. We started off very green, and we grew throughout the year. You saw a lot of Sam in the picture. It's because he probably touched the ball more than anybody else on the team. But we were very happy to see the team progress throughout the year, and we're excited about what next season holds for us. So this time I'm going to go ahead and bring the guys up. Nathan Blevins, Saban Brown, Tucker Davis, Levi Duke, Lincoln Dunn, Toby Frederick, Noah Garner, Baron Gray, Caleb Hodges, Trent Hughes, Brendan Johnson, Caleb Caldall, Ezra Caldall, Blair Keller, Triton Kendrick, Alan McElharney, Logan Palmer, Sam Pierce, Noah Rurik, and Dacian Welch. All right, let's give these guys a hand. All right, this year, our MVP goes to a player that had to learn a brand new sport and position. It was the first player that I met, being a first-year teacher here at West Florida. And when I got to the first practice, he got out of his vehicle and started walking towards me, and I honestly didn't know if it was a parent or a student. For those of you that aren't aware, a soccer goal is 8 feet tall by 24 feet wide. And I've coached for many years. Never had a player quite like this guy. And so when he walked up and introduced himself and said, I'm kind of thinking about playing goalie this year, I looked at him and I said, I'm pretty sure we can find a place for you. And he was voted the unanimous MVP by the team, Mr. Sam Pierce. And while we didn't have the success that we wanted, and obviously we were scored on, for the amount of goals that were scored against us, Sam had many more saves than that, and literally just about every team we played came up to me at some point after the game and was talking about, man, that guy's going to be really good. And I was like, yeah, it's his first year playing. They were all shocked. So congratulations. Our Christian Character Award. This was one that was voted on by the players. Quite a few of the teammates got votes, but there was one particular teammate that stood out. This young man, he doesn't smile a whole lot, all right? But he's very serious about everything, but very much a Christian character and a leader, a quiet leader sometimes, and sometimes more of a vocal. It just depended on the situation. But we were very excited to have him on the team. I love to see his leadership, and I'm looking forward to this upcoming season. Mr. Noah Garner.
Well, I am very proud of all of the athletes who have participated in sports this year. It is a lot of hard work to be an athlete, and I think that is not more evident in any other sport than cross country. Cross country is a very, very hard sport, and so I'm very proud of all of the people who participated in it this year. All of the girls were really mad about all the pictures that we took because they're like at the end of a race, you know, and they're all hot and sweaty. That's when we take the picture. But yeah, it's a really hard sport, but it's an even harder sport to coach because in every other sport, what do you do when an athlete's not doing what they're supposed to be doing? You tell them to go run a lap, right? But we're already doing that. So that's a very hard sport. So I'm very thankful for all the parents and their motivation and the encouragement that they put on our students and our athletes to just keep going when times get tough. So we're going to go ahead and call up all of our athletes this year. Kina Sinan, Chloe Dickman, Riley Dickman, Shannon Kerner, Michaela Reagan, and that is all of our girls, which they won our regional conference, which was very exciting. And I'm going to call up the guys. Mac Dickman, Caleb Caldall, Ezra Caldall, Gideon Caldall, Robert Kerner, and my assistant here, Cruz Duncan. All right, we're going to start with our MVP. This is the athlete who by far was our fastest and most consistent runner. Very, very good job while he was playing two sports, playing at the same time soccer, which is a sport that requires a lot of other running. So he was definitely very consistent, is Ezra Caldall. And then our Best Christian Character Award. This athlete was a leader and probably the most encouraging athlete that we had. Whenever I had something going on, he would always ask, how can I help? How can I assist you in any way? He was definitely a big support to me, and even today he came up and supported me and helped me pass out these awards. Best Christian Character Award goes to Cruz Duncan.
Okay, so that ends all of our sports. I'd like for anyone who has worked with the students this year, that has helped coach or been a part of the team, to please stand. You know who you are. So I want to say a big thank you for these people who put in a lot of time, people that have their own businesses, people that work here all day long and then go coach all afternoon and go to games and take their time out. You know, once you make that dedication, you have to be at everything, and you know, you just don't have a lot of time for anything else at that point. So these people have totally dedicated themselves to our school and to our students, and I want to say a big thank you from all of us for what you do and for how you put your heart, and that you're good leaders and mentors to our students. I just appreciate all that you do. So let's give them a big round of applause. So it was brought to my attention one other achievement that has happened this year, and I wanted just to acknowledge it. And first of all, just to say thank you for all that our AD does. Darren works very hard. He schedules everything and then has to change everything again. He has to work around school schedules. He has to work around just everything, other people, other schools' schedules. And he does all of that, and then he also comes every day practically and helps another sport. If he's not coaching at the time, he first started with us as a boys basketball coach. And there, we found out he had 169 winning games at that time with the boys. And then more naturally, he shifted over to the girls, and he just did a great job there. But we want to acknowledge the fact that he has had 200 wins in girls basketball. And so we'd like for him to come up. If we had had to pay him for all the hours he put in, he'd be a millionaire right now. So I appreciate all that he does and all he has done. Do you know how many years it's been? 26 years of doing this, consistently being there for our school. And, you know, you can't buy that kind of dedication. So we thank him for all that he does. So now I'd like for the varsity coaches to come up, and we're going to present the Athlete of the Year today. So come on up. So this is a vote from the coaches. They make the decisions for this Athlete of the Year. You have to play a couple of our sports to be Athlete of the Year. And so we have them, they discuss it and make a decision looking at the stats and everything that's involved. And so we first would like to present the boys Athlete of the Year.
All right, for basketball, this player was an essential piece to the team. He always worked hard in the little things of the game, like defense, rebounding, rotations, and discipline. He was always the first one to take a charge for the team and probably holds the school record for charges taken. He always put the needs of the team before his own, which shows his true character and love for his teammates. He carried that attitude into baseball season and really took the responsibility of being a team leader to heart this year. He was probably harder on him. He ain't even my kid, but anyway, everybody says, hey, you don't even have a kid. You're still coaching. I got kids. He was really hard on himself. Killing me, Parker. His teams have won 3 regional championships, a second in conference, 2 conference championships, and this year the first place at nationals, where he hit a walk-off double to win the championship game. I will truly miss Parker Bird.
All right, thank you for that earlier. I wasn't expecting that. I got a little more choked up than I'm already going to be. I'm honored to award this year's Female Athlete of the Year, not just because she's a great athlete or because she's my daughter, but because she's a wonderful young lady. Ooh, this is going to be tougher than I thought. I have had the privilege to coach her in basketball and softball for most of her life, and in volleyball, which is her true favorite sport. I have always been her biggest fan. I've tried my best to not ever be accused of daddy ball with her, but she makes it really hard because it's hard to take her out of a game. She's a spark plug in any sport, whether it be doing one of her crazy splits on the volleyball court or basketball court, or her defense on the basketball court, or a clutch stolen base on the softball diamond. She has made her presence known. I remember after her 10U softball season, I asked Coach Steve if she could just practice with the varsity girls so I didn't have to coach Little League anymore. And I could just watch her play with her sisters. And much to my surprise that year, I go out and Coach Steve has my little 5th grader, out on the field running, and a backup base runner and a backup second baseman. In basketball, she began her varsity career for me on the end of the bench as a 6th grader, putting in minutes here and there and learning the game from the older girls. This year, she stepped up as a leader to our group of young future stars. In volleyball, she has also made varsity in 8th grade, never looked back. I know volleyball was your favorite sport, but you could never tell because you brought that same energy to every sport you played. She has played in the shadow of her big sisters and some of WFBA's other greatest female athletes. But the last few years, you've made a name for yourself here at West Florida. She's been part of, I believe, 7 basketball conference championships now. Even if that first one, you were just peeking in the team picture, she's peeking out from the back. But she will be greatly missed, and by no one more than me. My privilege and honor to announce 24 Athlete of the Year, Miss Addie Johnson. I love you.
Okay, We're through with sports. It only took a little while. So now we're going to start with the academic awards for high school. I'm very proud to say that you will find many of these athletes that have won and that have played. You'll find them getting academic awards also. So they work hard on both the field as well as in the classroom. And so if your teachers would come, take your places at the front, we will get started with academic awards.
Good morning. It is my privilege to introduce All A Honor Roll for 7th through 12th grade. This is quite an accomplishment by the time you make it to 7th grade to receive All A Honor Roll, and especially when so many are involved in so many other activities. So when I do call them, we will give an applause for each as they come forward. Please come to your teacher, receive your award, and then we'll proceed to the next grade. For 7th grade, Richmond, Claire Boyd. Natalie Eason, All A Honor Roll for 7th Pryor, Wyatt Damery. Ethan Parker and Alyssa Roberts. 8th grade, Mrs. Cox, All A Honor Roll, Abigail Thayer and Lillian Woodring. 8th grade, Mr. Steimer, All A Honor Roll, Shea Bill, Abby Hazewinkle, and Alexis Webster. 9th grade, Miss Steimer, All A Honor Roll, Isabella Howe, Aurora Rantung, and Vivian Woodring. 9th grade, All A Honor Roll, Mr. Blevins class, Catherine Boyd and Tucker Davis. There are several in 10th grade for All A Honor Roll, Miss Valdez homeroom, M.K. Drummond, Amelia Fournier, Madeline Goodick, Gabe Hazewinkle, Sarah Holly, Annabelle Kendrick, Samuel Mahout, and Victoria McAlarney. 11th grade junior class, 3 on All A Honor Roll, Mrs. Key's class, Aiden Leichter, Alan McAlarney, and Isabella Vega. We have 6 in the senior class, Mrs. Bacon's class, All A Honor Roll this year. Congratulations to our seniors. Kara Boyd, Addie Carson, Addie Johnson, Morgan Kemp, Anna Riddick, and Ronan Riles. Congratulations to All A Honor Roll. Next, we will call All AB Honor Roll. We will call 7th grade, and then we will applaud for 7th grade. AB Honor Roll for 7th grade. I will call these names. Please come get your certificate. Brooke Odell, Catherine Pitts, Jossie Sharp, Tucker Woodham, Annabella Holly, and Claire Gelsma. Eighth grade AB Honor Roll, which is still quite an accomplishment. Trent Hughes, Bryce Jagle, Caleb Caldall, Joey Kearns, Ava Thibodeau, and Lucas Wilt, Addison Edwards. AB Honor Roll for 9th grade, Ms. Steimer and Mr. Blevins, Stella Moore, Chase Nelson, Alex Taylor, Jaden Brown, Miriam Coley, Colin Harrison, Nathaniel Johnson, Stella Moore, and Araya Morris. 10th grade, Miss Valdez, AB Honor Roll. Tenth grade, Kaylee Bird, Lillian Charles, Olivia Charles, Brennan Johnson, Lewis Moore, Daphne Samala. 11th grade juniors, Mrs. Key's class, AB Honor Roll is Jackson Birch, Emma Holly, Hannah Holly, and Trey Hughes. 12th grade, Mrs. Bacon's class, AB Honor Roll is Taylor Alvarez, Owen Beard, Cameron Greeley, Patrick Greeley, Gracie Kimbrough, and Owen McConnell.
So the next thing we want to give out is the highest in certain classes in their class. And so even though there's 2 7th grades and 2 8th grades and 2 9th grades, we're still taking only the highest out of each of those grades. So starting with math, the highest in 7th grade is Ethan Parker. Highest in math in 8th grade is Lillian Woodring. Highest in math in 9th grade is Vivian Woodring. Highest in math in 10th grade is MK Drummond. In 11th grade, there was a three-way tie. Aiden Leicher, Alan McElarney, and Isabella Vega. Highest in math in 12th grade was Anna Riddick. All right, we'll move on to history. So, highest in 7th grade, Ethan Parker. 8th grade, Lillian Woodring. 9th grade, Vivian Woodring. 10th grade, Victoria McElarney. 11th grade, Alan McElarney. And 12th grade, we had another tie, and that is Morgan Kemp and Anna Riddick. All right, in science, 7th grade, Ethan Parker. 8th grade, Shay Bill. 9th grade, Vivian Woodring. For 10th grade, MK Drummond. 11th grade, Isabella Vega. Moving to English, highest academic in their classes, 7th grade, Ethan Parker. 8th grade, Abigail Thayer. 9th grade, Vivian Woodring. 10th grade, M.K. Drummond. 11th grade English, Aiden Leitcher. 12th grade English, and this is British literature, Morgan Kemp. All right, so you've seen some repeating over and over. Sometimes that doesn't mean they're the highest in everything across, and this is the overall best student. For 7th grade, overall best student academically is Ethan Parker. Overall best student in 8th grade is Lillian Woodring. Overall best student for 9th grade, Vivian Woodring. Overall best student for 10th grade, M.K. Drummond. Overall best student for 11th grade, Isabella Vega. And overall best academically in the 12th grade is Morgan Kemp. The next award is still academic, is most improved, and that means they finished better than they started. And so we're going to call that out for 7th grade is Blair Keller. For 8th grade, Jacob Craven. Eighth grade for Miss Cox was Caleb Caldall. Eighth grade, Mr. Steimer, Knight Gray. Ninth for Mr. Steimer. No? For Miss Steimer? Shannon Kerner. For Mr. Blevins' class, Tucker Davis. Most improved, 10th grade, for Ms. Valdez is Jaden Joyner. For 11th grade, Ms. Key, Lexi Jones. And most improved for 12th grade was Addie Hayek. All right, these are character awards that our teachers have picked. Okay, let's quiet down. For most helpful, for 7th, Miss Richmond, is Harley Sparks, most helpful. Ms. Pryor chose Robert Kerner for most helpful. Ms. Cox chose Ava Thibodeau. Mr. Steimer chose Alexis Webster. Ms. Steimer chose Noah Eason. Mr. Blevins chose Cadence Ellis. Ms. Valdez chose Amelia Fournier. Ms. Key has chosen for most helpful Raven Knowles. And for 12th grade, the woman that kept us on track, planned everything for us, was right on target, was Anna Riddick. Sorry, that was the wrong one. All right, so then for school spirit. For 7th grade, Richmond was Anna Pryor. For 7th, Pryor was Alyssa Roberts. For 8th grade, Cox was Ava Thibodeau. Most school spirit for 8th grade, Mr. Steimer, was Shay Bill. Ms. Steimer has chosen Andy Johnson. Mr. Blevins chose Catherine Boyd. For best school spirit, Ms. Valdez has chosen M.K. Drummond. Ms. Key chose Aiden Leitcher. And for best school spirit of the 12th grade was Taylor Alvarez. And one of the most important ones that we choose is Christian character. And we want, of course, everyone to have good Christian character, but these were outstanding. And so the teachers have chosen them. For 7th grade, Miss Richmond chose Tucker Woodham. Miss Pryor chose Annabella Hawley. Mrs. Cox chose Abigail Thayer. Mr. Steimer chose Alexis Webster. For Christian character in the 9th grade, for Ms. Steimer was Vivian Woodring. Mr. Blevins chose Catherine Boyd. Ms. Valdez in the 10th grade chose Sarah Holly. Mrs. Key chose Aiden Leitcher for Best Christian Character. And for Best Christian Character for 12th grade was Anna Riddick. All right, teachers, you may be seated.
At this time, I would like to present perfect attendance. And so this is quite an, well, actually, you're going to be surprised. There's a lot more than you think. So 7th through 12th grade, you did your work this year, and I appreciate that. So please come forward when I do call your name. For 8th grade, we have 2 in 8th grade, Chloe Winkleman and Declan Welch. Please come to the stage for perfect attendance. In 9th grade, we have 2 as well, Vivian Woodring and Shannon Kerner. 10th grade, we have 2 also, Lillian Charles and Elijah Connor. And for 11th grade, we have 2 as well. So we'll see if 12th grade is going to break that tradition. In 11th grade, we have Trey Hughes and Emma Holly. And 12th grade has broken that tradition. We have 4 seniors with perfect attendance this year. We have Owen Beard, Morgan class attendance. Cameron Greeley. And Patrick Greeley. And I think this is a common thing for the Greeleys. I do need to make an announcement about one of the honor rolls that was not on our list, but we need to correct that at this point. Shepard Brown, please come forward for an honor roll.
Okay, so we're going to do the spelling bee now. Those that participated in the third quarter, we want to recognize them and also call out the winners at that time that were announced that night. So those that participated in the spelling bee was Annabella Hawley, Caden Wappelhorst, Cadence Ellis, and Cadence won that spelling bee that night. For the 10th through 12th grade, y'all can be seated, was Emma Guttrell, Jackson Birch, and Kara Boyd. The winner of that division was Kara Boyd. And for oratorical participants was Natalie Eason and Anna Pryor. And Natalie Eason was the winner of that division. The upper division was Kate Boyd, M.K. Drummond, Isabella Vega, and the winner there was Isabella Vega. All right, now we want to do the highest academic achievement for overall for the 9th through 12th grade. These grade point averages are high, these percentages are very high, but the winner for English this year with a 99.95 was Morgan Kemp. For science, with a 99.56, was Vivian Woodring. History was a tie with 100. Straight up 100, both of them. Morgan Kemp and Anna Riddick. And when I got for math, I said, Ms. Key, go back and refigure these. I want to make sure. Straight 100s, I have 5. 5 straight 100s. And I want to announce the first one because she had college algebra, and that was a straight 100, was Anna Riddick. Then Aiden Leicher was a 100. Isabella Vega, 100. M.K. Drummond, 100. And last but not least is Alan McAlary. Did you get the picture? Yeah. Y'all hold your certificates up. All right, let's give them a round of applause. This year for the honors cords, this is from 9th through 12th grade averaged, have to have a 3.8 or above. And so we want to call out those seniors that have received gold cords for this year. And that is Kara Boyd, Addison Carson, Cameron Greeley, Patrick Greeley, Addison Johnson, Morgan Kemp, Gracie Kimbrough, Anna Riddick, and Ronan Riles. Ninth through 12th grade, over a 3.8, that's a hard thing to do. And so we're very proud of them. They've done a hard work over these years, and congratulations. You can be seated. I want to make a comment on this. Cameron and Patrick have probably had perfect attendance for 5 years in a row, and that's just an amazing thing. So therefore, also gold cords. I think attendance goes along with grade point average. So we're proud of them for doing that. And for our highest academic award is the valedictorian and salutatorian. The valedictorian of our class this year with a 99.56 is Anna Riddick. And the salutatorian is not far behind, was a 99.27, and that is Morgan Kemp. So that's our academic awards, and the final thing that we always do every year is our traditional passing of the sword ceremony. But before I do that, I just wanted to call out, we had some recipients of some, and I may not have all of them. I told the senior class to let Ms. Kemp know if you got any kind of scholarship somewhere else. So I want to just mention this, of all of the ones that we know that have gotten scholarships this year, is Florida Bright Future recipients are Kara Boyd, if you will stand, please. Ronan Riles. Morgan Kemp. Owen Beard. Anna Riddick. And Addie Johnson. There were also some academic merit scholarships for UWF. If you can be seated, I'll call you up again. Ronan Riles. Morgan Kemp. And Anna Riddick. You can be seated. And one more that we just got yesterday in our office here, and that was the Laura Hidden Scholarship recipient, and that's for Morgan Kemp, and she will get $4,000 for that. All right, now we would like to go ahead and have the juniors and seniors take their place, and we will do the passing of the sword ceremony.
Parker, don't cut yourself. Okay, boys.
We, the class of 2024, do hereby charge the senior class of 2025 of West Florida Baptist Academy to uphold the character and moral values that have been instilled in our lives. We challenge you to have the fortitude to stand for what is right, character to act right even when no one is looking, and diligence to search for godly wisdom with all your heart. As we pass this sword on to you, we ask that you will bring honor to it this next year, that you will love this school as we do, be the spiritual leaders of this school, and when you pass this sword to the next class, that you will be able to say that you have represented our Lord and traditions of our school well. We will pray for you that you will have a blessed senior year and ask that you pray for us as we go our separate ways and begin the next step in our lives. Do you accept this challenge?
We as the class of 2025 do hereby accept this challenge and understand that only with God's help and grace can we achieve this challenge. We promise to do our best to bring honor to our Lord and to our school. We will pray for you as you pray for us and hope one day our paths will meet again. If not here, then in heaven.
Good job, man.
We thank everyone for coming today. I think it was a real fun. I enjoyed these academic awards as well as the sports awards. It's good to recognize when someone has achieved something big in their lives. And so I would like to tell those who won either a Best Christian Character or an MVP, those can be hung on the wall, but you can also come up and get a box that has the little stand if you want to get that for your award. So thank you, parents, for coming, and you're dismissed.